Hello everyone, and welcome. My name is Koifish, and in this Crusader Kings 3 video, we're going to play as one of the best starts for playing tall in Crusader Kings 3. So let's check out the wonderful duchy of Bohemia. We're going to transform this low development, semi-tribal realm into a beacon of progress, trade and learning. And all of this while trying to stay completely neutral and never increasing or starting borders. Can these Bohemian businessmen dominate the world through influence and wealth alone? Stick around and find out. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button.
Oh, I can't believe you've done this.
Subscribe and ring the bell for more Crusader Kings 3 content. It would mean a lot to me and it would really help out in the algorithm. Now less talking and more building. Alright, so here we are in Bohemia and we're currently playing as Duke Neklan, who is a descendant of the very glorious House Przemysl dynasty. These guys were actually founded when this guy, Przemysl, which I'm totally butchering when it comes to the pronunciation, this guy was just a normal farmer, but he raised up the queen and they became royalty. Now for those that aren't aware, playing tall in Crusader Kings means that instead of expanding your area outwards by conquering more land, like if you were for example playing as a Viking, you instead take your existing realm and grow it to get more gold, more troops and more prestige from less land. Basically, build tall, not wide. And what makes Bohemia such a great starting position to go wide is that we start with all of the titles in the Bohemian kingdom. It's also a rather small kingdom with a self-contained culture. Now culture is important because culture is what ties your innovations, which is your technology. There's a lot of math and science around this, but basically, your chance of progressing to another innovation, a technology, is based on your average development of your culture's counties. And since the Czech culture is self-contained, if we can get the development up in all of these counties, we'll be gaining innovations at a breakneck speed. But if you're instead playing as, for example, the Norse, it's a lot of counties that all have low development, so your technology will be slowed down. Tall is also about stacking bonuses and modifiers, but enough about that. What's more interesting is the fact that we control Kaslav, a castle holding where we can construct the Kutnahura mine. That's going to be the first on our list. This will give us a whopping 3 gold per month. But we'll start with picking out the Dynasty Legacy. We'll go for erudition, as in treasured knowledge we get plus 20 development growth. We'll then pick our lifestyle, and we'll of course go by learning. Glorious Neklan already starts as a maxed out scholar. Now this is the tree you want to look at when it comes to boosting your development, as you have bonuses like scientific, increasing your tech growth, plant cultivation, helping you boost your development, and my personal favorite, scholar, for an additional 15. Now you might be asking, how do you increase the development in your holdings? Well, you basically need to just get a source of it. The quickest way to get it done is to take your steward and have him increase development in a county. This will provide some actual growth to your development. It's currently going up by 2 per month. Now there's a whole bunch of modifiers to this, but all you need to know is that development goes up, but the higher it is, the more it takes for it to progress. And right away, we face our first challenge. As the King of Moravia is attacking us to take the Council of Doodleby. He's able to do so because he's a Catholic, and we follow the pagan religion of Slovianska Pravda. Now we could try to fight them off, but that's just gonna drain our treasury. Instead, we'll actually take this as an opportunity to convert to his faith and become Catholic. Glory to God, we say. And the war is invalidated. I am no longer a pagan, which is great because being a Catholic has some insane bonuses. One of them being that you can beg the Pope for gold. So we'll start trying to sway the man. The more we can get him to like us, the better. I'll then take some of my gold and invest in going in a pilgrimage to visit the man in the Vatican himself. Now pilgrimages are great because we can use them to increase our standing with the Pope. We also get a whole lot of piety, and we're finally back home. Now comes the effort to feudalize and Christianize the tribes in the surrounding holdings. Now we pass limited crown authority. This lets us revoke titles, and the holding I want to get first is Sotek, as it's in farmlands. I also happen to hold a rightful claim on this area, so all he has to do is accept, and there's nothing he can do about it. The new Pope Stephanus V will actually give us 116 gold in return for some piety. This is why being Catholic is insanely powerful for playing tall. Now we're slowly getting enough gold so that we can build the glorious silver mine of Kutna. In 4 years, we'll be rolling in the cash. And they now give me the nickname the Fearless for my fearless investment into the realm. And once again, the piggy bank that is the Pope will give us 117 gold. Hey, they don't call them the Papal States for nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. But with this gold, we can now build some better buildings. I'll invest in the farmland of Satek and build farms and fields for an extra half gold per month. But alas, no man rules forever, and at the age of 74, we have given up the ghost and died. Duke Hostivita ascends the throne. The downside of this is that we lost some land, as it went to my siblings, as it went to my nephew. But the upside is that we just gained some new land. We will however have to take out our nephew. First of all, he's the wrong religion, so we'll try to force him to convert. He says yes, which is good, but I still need to take his titles. Now while it would be tempting to do it without reason, we get tyranny and lose legitimacy. That's gonna make our realm a lot harder to manage, so we need to gain a claim on these holdings. But keep in mind, even as you lose land, you can still invest in the holdings of your vassals, as you want to boost the overall development. But no king may rule unchallenged. Duke Kresimir of Opalonia, which sounds like Oompa Loompas I guess, is trying to attack us to take the county. We take my beloved son Neklan and marry him off to get a good alliance with none other than the king of Lotharingia. And we'll of course raise our troops to see if we can oppose them. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this battle. These tribals to the east are very competent fighters, and they bring way too many knights for us to beat them back. It seems that unless Lothair comes and actually helps us, we're gonna be dead soon. But great timing, we've just gotten a son by the name of Isak, a spindly little boy, but a great brokerage ship to get another alliance. This one with petty King Alfred Ethbulfsson of Wessex. But this time we're fighting under the protection of the small hill fort in Prague. It's looking very rough, but our allies are coming in fast. And just in time, as Prague is protected by an alliance between the English. Usually when the English arrive in Prague, they have an absolute riot of a stag do and make a fool out of themselves. But here, they're actually helping us out. We manage to drive them off, and we get back our legitimacy. We get some more gold from the Pope, ransom back one of the lords. And just like that, our money situation has gone up, and more farms and fields can be plowed. But we need to wrest control of the mine that just finished construction, from my nephew. So we'll have my bishop create a claim on the area. And with the great work of Onfront, my French Bohemian bishop, I now have an unpressed claim on the county of Kaslav, letting me claim his title without becoming a tyrant. He of course says yes, and we now hold the gold mine. Let's do the same thing with Satek. And we pick up the scholar perk. Once again, the glorious Bohemian Czech are very studious. Koifish has actually gone to a university in Prague, but he only went in there to have a beer. It was actually surprisingly tasty and only costed me like 10 Czech crowns. What the hell? That's nothing in real currency. Now, I just realized one bit of an issue here. To form the King of Bohemia, we will need 2 duchy titles, but Bohemia is one big duchy. That means we're gonna have to temporarily steal another duchy, and then form it, create Bohemia, and then let it go. It's a bit silly, but hey, we have to do it for the realm. Now it's always dangerous and risky to launch holy wars, as people of the Slovianska Pravda faith might join in despite not having an alliance. But we have to risk it. And the Pope sure likes it, giving us even more gold. And we already messed up. Launching our troops straight into the enemy. They defeat us and that's that. We now have to heavily rely on our alliances to come and save us. But our alliances are strong, and together with them, we should be able to charge in and defeat the pagans at the Battle of Litomerich. God-blessed diplomacy, it certainly works. But the Bavarian seems to want the same holding, and he's sponsored by none other than Basilius of Byzantium. Yeah, that's not great. We're going to have to fight him. I know you're just trying to Christianize the pagans, but so am I, and I need the land more. Literally arguing over who's the most Christian. We need to be super quick here, because the Greeks will be coming any time now. We'll have to take desperate measures, and invest in the Swabian sellswords. We're severely outnumbered, and we're lacking in leadership, but maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to pull this off. If the Bavarians could clash into them, they would be weak enough. We charge in, to defeat our Christian neighbors. Isn't this how all crusades literally go? We go to fight the pagan but end up fighting each other and lets the pagans just roam freely? God damn it! And I'm being declared on by another enemy. Things aren't going great, but desperate times require desperate measures, and we'll get as many sellswords as it requires to defend our land. No one said playing as the Czech was gonna be easy. And here comes the gosh darn Greeks. But at the Battle of Dvurchovno, we fought hard and defeated the pagans, and quickly forced them to peace out. Because now it was time for the grand heist. We had to take over the lands. The battles were hard fought, but if we could just siege down his holding, the capital. No, the Polabian won! Gosh damn it, all that work only to be surrounded by Bavarians. And a blind one at that. I got a brilliant idea. If we could rush a pilgrimage, we could get enough piety to buy a claim on the land of Moravia and steal it from my former enemy. And now we can finally try this again. By claiming the Duchy of Moravia, we will be able to form Bohemia, and then we can just give this back. And with our brave mercenaries raised, and the Moravians busy fighting the Balatonians, perhaps we could sneak his capital. After all, we had all of these mercenaries, so why not? And rushing up the hill, we got the bad words that my son, Neklan, had been killed. Though, I wasn't exactly super sad about this. For my new heir was much more capable when it comes to ruling a realm, with his diligent nature and great kids. The war, however, was awfully slow, as his forts proved hard to crack. But after seizing not just the capital, but the king himself, we were able to steal the Duchy of Moravia. And although I did say we weren't gonna increase our borders, this is just temporary, because we're actually forced to do this to even form the kingdom. But just like my beloved father, if I'm to become king, I need a proper nickname, and they know me as the Scholar. And with just enough gold, we form the beautiful kingdom of Bohemia. From here, we grant away Moravia, giving it to our grandson, who then grants his independence. And just like that, the Moravian borders are restored, and we technically never gained any land. Very good! Now it's time to grow proper tall. We revoke Satek. This of course launches a massive rebellion, which isn't good. But keeping on our toes and thinking quick, we can defeat his armies. And just like that, we've captured the man himself. And using the fact that he tried to oppose me, I can now revoke the rest of his land and make him entirely landless. And of course we release him, but he'll have to become a monk. I now control a massive amount of the Bohemian lands. And the lands of the tribals seem to have modernized. Very good. But with success comes backlash, and I guess God wants to limit the best man in Bohemia because we became infirm. So we quickly went to host a glorious feast. After all, the Bohemians are a cheerful people, and the people that are cheerful are most likely beerful. We're now done with the first step, and it's high time for us to start booming our lands. We managed to crawl up the development in Prague, our capital, to 10, which is actually very impressive. Now the perk of boosting one development area is that the nearby areas gets development growth from the neighboring counties. But barely do I get to rest for a second when Chieftain Paval of Bihar comes to try and murder me. We can't have that, so listen, a drunkard, flagellant, melancholic and wounded avar. I don't think this man is long for the world. We do like Jesus and turn the other cheek, then promptly fart at him. A proper flatulist. After all, to the Czech people, life is just a joke. We've now discovered public works. Public works? Sure hope it does. This lets our development go up all the way to 20, so we reduce the maximum existing development penalty that I talked about before. Now we go to unlock the absolutely overpowered and incredibly great cultural bonus that the Czech have, the Table of Princes. This lets us enact house seniority. That means that the oldest member of our house inherits all of our titles. No more succession crisis. King Hostewit is pushing 80 and is still rocking around in great health, as he's very determined to live, whole of body and with an iron constitution. Being infirm is just a suggestion, not something that's gonna actually stop me. And as we return back home, we're earning a whopping 21 piety per month. It's time to boom this goddamn economy. More fields, more wheat, and more development. But no king rules forever, and neither does the scholar, as he will study his last year, as he has just one semester left at the University of Life. All I can hope for is that I was a good ruler as I die. Having ruled for a whopping 32 years, we now take over as King Borijov, who happens to have united the lands of, well, Bohemia and not Bohemia. But no bother, as we raise our armies and go to protect our old holdings. And just like that, we've defended the Duchy of Moravia, which is great because now we can give it away and grant it independence. There we go, I hope I never have to deal with them again. Now time to reunite me with my old holdings. But it seems that Borijov was not up for the stress to be an actual ruler, and he promptly abdicates. Having just ruled 3 years, Queen Miloslava, a young woman by the age of 22, takes the throne. She's a fornicator, she's a flagellant, and by God, she has 2 illegitimate children that are very stupid. We quickly break up with our lover, who's an absolute manlet. I don't know why she was... Why was she seduced by this little dwarf guy? Well, this small man created big problems, because God punished me by making one daughter stupid and the other son very ugly. We quickly go and ask the Pope for forgiveness, and with a bit of gold, we lose the trait fornicator. We're a woman of intrigue and seduction, something I'm not keen on actually pursuing, as we'll take this thought and have her go to university. Girls go to college to get more knowledge, and this Czech beauty is gonna get some scholarship. To help her with this, we need a man with a really good learning. We'll go for none other than Sinfran ab Elisted, a Welshman that's of the wrong religion and a bit kinky in the bedroom, but he's quick-minded and quite pleasant to look at. And with his assistance, we can get up to +9 learning, bringing us to a nice 18. But I guess some people can't handle a girl boss ruling Bohemia, so a lot of people, including my dwarf lover, are coming to kill me. We won't let this happen. Instead, this will be a great opportunity. Serbians are hired to fight, as we rush in to defeat army after army, as me and my Welsh husband become soulmates. And a beloved beautiful son is born with the comely trait. We name him Borijov, and we start educating him, as my rebellion will prove to be the best thing that's ever happened to me. So much raiding, so much murdering. But to do all of this, a Dynasty Legacy, ordained rulership, lets the clergy like me more. And another beloved son has been born. This is little Slavic. And just like that, the revolt is taken out. And from here, I can start cleaning house, revoking all titles to those that opposed me, and banishing my uncle with no claims. For gold I can regain, but claimants will always be a problem. We're truly back on top. Talking about being on top, I guess I'm pregnant now. Damn, being a woman must be kinda tricky, you know? Always being pregnant? I mean, medieval times woman, not in real life. But I guess my childbearing efforts have gone noticed, as I'm a woman that's given birth to 5 kids. People like me a little bit more. I think it's high time we go on another pilgrimage. Rome seems to be a hotspot of tourism for my family, so that's where I'll go, keeping up the tradition. And just like my father and his father, well, I don't think my father made it here before he gave up, returned home and died, but we have arrived in Rome. Dear God, how many kids am I supposed to have? I'm on my 6th kid. You know what? Time to boom the construction sector. More holdings shall be constructed. But I guess it goes in the family, because I become melancholic. A bit of the depression. Now how do we treat that the best way? But did you know there's actually an ancient Czech cure for sadness? That's right, a big old pint of beer. Nothing like a proper drink to get you back in the mood. Whoa! Oh, no, what has happened here? What? I don't want to rule all of this. Who gave me the kingdom of France? I have no interest in being the ruler of the French. Dear God, give this title away right now. That's it! No one can hold France! Wait, could I give all of this to the Pope? No way! No way! Long live the papacy! The day when the Czech gave all their lands to the Pope? And that solves that problem. I don't want to control any of that, that's too much. Now the Pope absolutely loves us, That's wonderful. I made the papacy incredibly strong. Even when I'm trying to play tall, Crusader Kings is like, here, have France. I guess we did have a claim on it, and it went to me for some reason. I mean, my grandpa is Charles the Bald, so that has certainly made the Pope stronger, which is great. Talking about being stronger, it's time to take even more titles, as I intend to rule all of Bohemia with an iron fist. You know what they say, compassionate in the streets, flagellant in the sheets. The last vassal of the Bohemians is conquered. But they call me the sluggard? Why? Just because I'm a bit lazy? Listen, this woman has been far from lazy, I'll say that. She's literally saved the realm and made the Pope the strongest man in the world. Take some of her gold and invest it in the legend of Premisil the Plowman, my great-great-great-great-grandfather, who didn't just plow his field, but also Libus, the goddamn princess of the Czech. We do this because the modifier increases development, which is absolutely wonderful. But now my ugly son has grown up, and we could force him to take the vows and become a monk. That would get him out of the way. But better yet would be to marry them off for alliances, to ensure they never, ever come back to my court. Goodbye! Listen, to be a bastard of a queen of Bohemia and then the Basilissa of the Byzantine Empire, that's quite the come-up, so I wouldn't be too sad. This also helps us get way more renown, as renown is based on marriages and titles that your people hold. And just like that, my son has grown up and he's looking to be a very competent heir. A true successor to the throne. And to really hammer this in, we'll marry him off to a very smart woman by the name of Megranouche. I got so many daughters and all of them look absolutely insanely good. I mean, in like a kind way. I mean, like they have the good traits. I mean, they take after their husbands. They take after their father's looks. But we're 60 years into the game and our development is starting to actually boom pretty well. 12 in the capital and the surrounding areas are very well received. All in all, Queen Miloslava is probably the one with the best rule. And isn't this adorable? My son Borodjov is now my best friend. He wrote an epic poem to his mom. When red-plumed war comes to her land, it ne'er find keener set of hand. Then all shall tremble as she takes field. Her scything blows too harsh to heal. My beloved son, I've never fought a war in my life. I'm a woman. I've had 8 kids. That's a struggle in of itself, but no. We have now unlocked the table of princess, meaning we could get house seniority law. But now that I'm thinking about it, do I? Wouldn't it be better to just make sure that all my rulers are great, rather than make sure that they're connecting the land? I feel like that's the best way, but maybe I'll change my mind. I'm starting to push 40, that's for sure. We'll pick up Ledger. This will get us another building slot, which will let us build more buildings quicker. I'll now finish this legend, and with this completed, and with my court chronicler fired, I should be making a whole lot more money. And at the age of 43, Queen Miloslava has gotten rid of her sluggardly nickname and is now known as With the Lock, as she carries around a part of her lover's hair, which she hides under this goofy hat. That was enough to give us a Dynasty Legacy, however, and we get treasured knowledge, getting us more lifestyle experience in the learning lifestyle, but also plus 20 development growth overall. This has left Prague with 12 development, going up by 1.4 every month. Now all we have to do is wait for the realm to slowly but surely grow and prosper, as we control all of the holdings. But the first test to our realm has come. A sickness known as Gilhavan Sweats is starting to spread through our realm, and it's already starting to claim lives. But Prague has been shut down. This is proving a big catastrophe to our development, as it's currently dropping in all holdings affected by the plague. Yet I keep popping out babies, and I'm now a mother of 10. But with the plague subsiding, we quickly end the isolation of the capital and emerge from seclusion. We are victorious, and we spend all gold we can to ensure that development goes the right way. All in all, the disease recovery should almost offset all the losses we took. And once more, the realm is safe and sound. I'm honestly amazed at Queen Miloslava's reign. She's managed to raise some pretty great children, if you exclude this bastard and this bastard. But if you look at, for example, my heir, compassionate with a great education. His brother, a great warrior. And Princess Bretislava, the woman I'd unironically want to play as. Compassionate, honest and forgiving. The best Christian there ever was. It almost feels sacrilegious to marry her off to someone, but she would be a great court tutoress here. And after all, what are genetics if not meant to be spread? We betrothed her to this Slovenian. Matrilineal, however, so the children belong to my dynasty. And to celebrate this occasion, we'll have a great and glorious grand wedding. I'm doing this mostly because it's gonna give me some wonderful bonuses when it comes to my development. We're also picking up divided attention, giving us +2 to my domain limit. And this glorious wedding also gives us one more Dynasty Legacy. We'll pick up true believers, not that we need it, but bureaucrats give way more bonus than you think to your counselor's tasks. That includes increased development. And considering Queen Miloslava is such a learned woman, let's go on a glorious university visit to the Vatican. Ludolf von No! No, I don't No. Might, safety and love. No, we can't have Mr. Epstein be the huntmaster. I have too many kids. Dear God, if Mr. Epstein takes you hunting, say no. Well, the hunt failed, which is pretty sad, but I'm able to take my massive prestige and reform the Czech culture. As under Realm, there's the incredibly powerful garden architects. This lets you build royal gardens, but also get a court gardener. Court gardener gets you massive amounts of development. So that's exactly what we'll establish. It's going to take 8 years. But nothing lasts forever, and neither did my husband. So perhaps it's time for me to see about getting another one. A younger model, perhaps. But considering there's 0 chance of children as my oven is completely done baking, what we truly need is someone that's very smart. So Wittikind of Bohemia here will be a perfect husband, as he boosts my learning to 39. But neither I was long for this life, and after having ruled for 24 years, Queen Miloslava has given up the ghost. It is now King Borisov II that rules, and he greatly mourns the death of his best friend and mother. But even more so, the loss of land, as we now work to recuperate the losses of our holdings. Now the upside of having these be ruled by other rulers is that they can focus on developing it themselves. The AI is rather competent at this, and considering I've done the very best I can to educate all of my children to be proper, good and well statted up, this should actually be quite beneficial, and lets us hyper-focus a bit on Prague. It also lets us do this, a grand tour to tax all of the realm. But before anything else, it's time to bury my mother, who flagellated her. Why did you beat yourself, Mom? Domestic abuse is no joke, especially when the domestic abuse is carried out by yourself, on yourself. But hey, at least the Pope is still willing to bankroll my dynasty. And with the funeral over and just like that, we've embraced garden architects, and a court gardener could boost the development in the capital by 0.7% a month. And I think we found the perfect man, Domenico. Domenico the gardener is gonna fix up Prague and its wonderful placements. And together with a very strong steward, we're now boosting it by 3.5 per month. Insanely powerful. But Borisov II had a bit of a hard time living up to his mother's name, and just like that, his ticker stopped ticking. And on the throne, we now have Gindri, a 19-year-old young man that rules less land than ever. A very interesting situation. But we finally have enough renown to unlock bureaucrats. This makes the councillor skills much more powerful, and that includes development in counties. But King Gindrich is off to a rocky start, as already he's going for his aunt and Queen of Brittany. But luckily she shoots this down. Homie, you're a bit of a weird one. And if that wasn't bad enough, my beloved son just died. Not great. And now my uncle and spymaster is calling my wife dearest. Listen, this is a far cry from the greatness of Miloslava, or even the greatness of Hostivit. I'm just saying, things have gone a lot downhill since the old age of Bohemia. There is only one thing I must do. I marry off my sister to my uncle and have him be the weird one. Gindri, why is everything having to do with incest with you? You're so... Get this weird guy out of here. And now they figured out I'm trying to claim holdings. Oh, brother. No, now Epstein. Well, at least Epstein is dead. I was gonna say that's sad, but that's very good. Epstein, he killed himself. So trying to make up for some of his shortcomings, King Gindri will be the first to go to university. But my caravan master, a homosexual Viking, wants to bring along a priest. Yeah, of course you can come along, but you're not supposed to be gay. I mean, I don't mind, personally, but the church does, and... Oh, well, at least he was honest about it. Let's see if I can get a fun souvenir here in the lovely city of Rome. Ah, a thorn from the Holy Cross. That's worthy. Let's start study hard. Now, let's live up to the great motto of the Smartulos Bartholomeus, of the Bartholomeus family. Study hard, eat lard. My goal is to get all the way up to level 4, and that's gonna cost me a lot of stress. But this Orthodox Bulgarian mommy wants me to study anatomy on her. No! Must focus on book. But now I take the position of Jacob von Bietzen, my study mate, and I win a debate. Am I on the debate team? How much of a nerd can you be? Says me, who studied rhetoric. Ah, yes, I'm quite fond of this myself, says the Pope! The Pope himself, the dunged! Well, my studies are complete, but I didn't quite make it all the way there. But I did get a cool book, the Czech Treaty, and 2 perks in stewardship. Was it worth spending 500 gold? I wouldn't say. But at least I'm back home, and just in time to see my extended army slaughter the Polabians. Get out of here, Polabians! You're not welcome! You never were! Wait, why is there a Czech man on the throne of the Byzantine Empire? I'm trying to play tall. I guess this is one way you can play tall by spreading yourself out, but why do we rule here? I mean, it's wonderful, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy over it, but that's so cool. Best of luck, kinsman, best of luck. And I get a cat! I name my cat Study because that's all I've been doing. Not that I'm doing my cat, that's not what I meant. I mean, it's a good name for a cat, okay? And just like that, I've captured another area. Which is great because I can throw out my cousin. Slowly but surely, we'll regain our land. But with only 8 years until we played for 100, the vile Polabian tries to reclaim all of our lands. It is now or never. Fight or die. May all of our allies come to our aid. May our soldiers strike true. And may God forgive the Polabians. Because I sure won't. But we have a new Dynasty Legacy, which is very nice. We'll pick up the desirable match, because our dynasty seems to be marrying off to all corners of the world. This makes marriage acceptance more likely. What's not likely, however, is that the Polabians will ever recover from this beating of a lifetime. Listen, you Polabian dogs, you messed around and you found out. And we just found out how to throw big rocks, so you're in trouble. Big and brutal pattern. And just like that, you're not gonna get away with this. You have to pay me for the damage you've done and you may leave. And having played exactly 100 years, it is time for Gindri to do what he aimed to do from the very beginning. Having amassed plentiful prestige, plentiful gold, and most of all, boomed the city of Prague from a development of 5 to 30. And as the first man to have ever finished an education in university, he will become the founder of the University of Prague. A great and glorious building that will further spiral our development all the way up to the heavens, as well as give us more renown and learning. We'll also pick up hill dwellers, giving us a +20 to development growth in hills, and happens to be where Prague is. We'll also collectivize the lands. This will increase development growth by 20 in all holdings, but reduce the control we get. And just like that, we are known as the Scholar. And that, my friends, is where I'm gonna end it here. We have taken the beautiful holding of Prague and taken it from low development to a bustling beacon on par with Constantinople. With a beautiful and profitable mine and a great university to study, the long line of rulers that made this happen have all been noteworthy in of themselves, but together they have taken the dynasty of Premyslid and brought it from obscurity to the very halls of the Byzantine Empire. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you learned something new about playing tall. If you want me to continue this playthrough and take the Bohemians all the way to 100 development, let me know down in the comments and I'll make it happen. My name is Koifish and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, Stay bohemian, my dudes. Yeet!